If we could allocate some of the funds that we're using here to fund a ghost town. No, I'm on my property. This is public property. No, these are where the utility starts. This is public property. So pretend pretend for a second I do this for a living and I know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay?
Just pretend you know what you're talking about too. That's why you got to tape that far away. You guys trying to tell us that we can't be on the sidewalk right here recording.
How many patients do you have in there, sir? You know? I apologize, I'm not going to share that for you.
You served in the military, didn't you? When did you stop honoring your oath?
They have all this here. They're not telling us who's here or how many people they have here. You would think it's public record. It belongs to the people. We have the right to know. The public has the absolute right to know. But you see the way when we start asking those basic questions, they walk away. If we were mainstream media, we would have scripted questions that they would be ready to answer. But they're not sure if they can answer those questions. They're not sure what they can say, what they cannot say. The PR person isn't here. So when you have real people who don't filter anything, who are ready to ask real honest questions and we expect real honest answers, it drives them away. There's nothing more that the government hates than the lie.
Oh, you guys answer our phone. Hey, thank you guys for everything you guys are doing, man, and being on the front line and helping everybody the way you guys are.
Thank you.
You guys are true heroes, man.
You know what the best weapon against tyranny is? Compassion. What's going on, guys? Josh, the Accountability for All in Las Vegas with Tucson Lori Cop Watch, Mass Exposure, Prince Vegeta News Network, El Charo Negro Justice, News Now 702, and Joshua Martinez. We're at a COVID/homeless concentration camp. Okay? So these guys are telling you all about COVID. We want to see if we can bring you some on-scene access. We'll see what they're doing for our people, how our tax dollars are at work, and we're going to make sure that you know, these funds are being properly allocated. Let's take a look. No public access, restricted. She's on the radio, guys. Hey, let them know over the walkie that they just called it in on the radio. We got contact. Police back there. Hey, how many patients you guys have in there right now?
No comment.
You have no comment? I mean, the people are funding this place. How many patients do you have? Ma'am, do you know how many patients are currently being treated here? Guys, you see this lights down in the back? They're creeping.
Is the COVID outbreak pretty severe here in Vegas right now?
You work at a COVID testing facility and you don't know if COVID is prevalent? So you don't know how many people you're treating. You don't know if the COVID issue is serious, but you have all these funds allocated to treat something and someone you have no knowledge of. Tax dollars, man. Awesome. Sweet. Sounds good. This is what you're paying them for, guys. Ghost town. I would be very curious to find out how much money funds this place. So to be clear, if you're just tuning in, they have no idea how many people are here. They have no idea if COVID is prevalent right now. But they have all this public funding to protect something they have no idea about. No comment about. Rolling with Josh Martinez. There he is right there. Up, and we got a cam back, guys. We got a cam back. Look at that. Inside of a... Is that a light reflection or is that a cam back? It's a cam back, guys. See him? He's got his flash on. He's filming us from his vehicle. So Ghost Town, no idea what's going on. No idea how many patients they have. They don't even know if COVID is bad. But this is how they're allocating their resources. You got a cam back in the vehicle. The guy's got his flash on so we can see him. Moron. Now another thing, guys. The Clark County website has this listed as medical treatment for the homeless. But the other day, security told Josh Martinez that this is COVID testing and treatment. So they're using these tax dollars.
Where's Lower? Lower, is everything all right?
Is there a reason you're taking our pictures, guys? Wow, you guys look like you're paramilitary, but you're allied security. How many patients are being tested here? If we could allocate some of the funds that we're using here to fund a ghost town? No, I'm on my property. This is public property. No, these are where the utility starts. This is public property. So pretend pretend for a second I do this for a living and I know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay?
Just pretend you know what you're talking about too. That's why you got to tape that far away. You guys trying to tell us that we can't be on the sidewalk right here recording.
How many patients do we have in there, sir? You know? I apologize, I'm not going to share that for you.
You served in the military, didn't you? When did you stop honoring your oath, man?
Yeah.
What legal purview allows you to take our picture when you're contracted by the government? This is the one that was recording us from the patrol vehicle.
Oh, this guy right here. Yeah, there he is. Hey, what happened? You guys didn't make your payment on that generator right there? You got a little food on it.
Charles, this is why you didn't pay your generator. It's got a boot.
Yep.
Stay off his property.
Yeah.
So, do you own this building since it's your property? All right, sweet.
Yeah.
This is your property. You're wearing my flag. I bet you served in the military. When did you stop honoring your oath? It's his property.
Whose property?
It's his property specifically.
Well, there's two seals right there. The City of Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Clark County, Nevada seal. Well, that's our property.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, that's what we told him, and then he backed right off.
I haven't got anything like that. All we want to know is how many patients are actually in here, and if we just want to know. Hey, excuse me, boss. Hey, excuse me, boss. You guys, is the outbreak here in Vegas, is it pretty extreme, or are we in danger?
And I think we have police coming in. So how did the police enter from a private facility that he owns? This guy right here owns it, guys. It's his building.
Make sure to mind abusing cues, guys. Stand right here on the sidewalk. Vegeta was arrested for taking a step right there, so we got to make sure we stay on the public sidewalk. So that way these dudes don't have any excuse to fucking.
Now, is this PD or is this more Allied Security dressed up like PD?
You guys remember that scene? Prince Vegeta got his ass fucking handed to him because he stepped in the fucking. And I believe they're actually.
City of Las Vegas Marshal.
Alright, so we got it looks like a City of Las Vegas Marshal just pulled over this.
So it looks like right now he's explaining to them that we don't have to leave because this is not his sidewalk, it's ours. We'll see if that's accurate.
What is this facility here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what this facility is over here.
Josh says online it's labeled as patient treatment and homeless, but the security told him before that it's COVID testing. So it's kind of a mystery what it is, but all this funding goes here, but they don't know if the COVID outbreak is bad. They don't know how many patients they have here. They don't know anything.
Yeah.
But they know that it takes this much money and resources to fund it. Yet the homeless population is rampant.
Rampant. With nowhere to go and nobody to help.
So for people standing on a public sidewalk, how much money did we waste today of the taxpayers? So did he explain to you that this is not your sidewalk? This is a city sidewalk?
Hey, now that he schooled you guys up, are you willing to ask some questions? We just want to know if it's dangerous for us to be standing right here, if the outbreak is really that bad.
Thanks, Marshall.
Really didn't want to talk to this too much.
So now let's see what he has to say. How are you, Marshall? That's what it looks like, right, man?
You guys are absolutely allowed to film.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Can you just do me a...
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
How many people, like, is there a lot of people sick in here? A lot of patients?
Guys. All right, so but you guys are allowed to film.
Can you let me know where the private property starts?
You guys are fine right here, okay?
All right, perfect.
So you can't answer that, how many patients you guys have?
What about as far as the COVID altogether right here in Vegas? Is it breaking out of control, or what's going on?
Should we be scared?
Yeah, is there anything that you can tell us, sir? To protect and to serve, man. Safety first, right? We just want to know if we're safe out here and everything's going to be all right.
Should we continue to sacrifice liberty for security? And if so, am I in the right place to do so? Ma'am, how'd that work out for you? When you called that in over the radio for suspicious males standing in a public sidewalk, did it turn out the way you thought it would?
Did you get your First Amendment training in today?
I like how you covered yourself and put your mask on when you're asking about
They
it.
do train you guys on this. I really want you to pay attention to the video. Pay attention to the video.
Wait, what did you say? You answered her question. What did you say? You had a comment. Go ahead.
I heard something about dumbass.
You got an education fix.
You're so triggered right now.
Yeah.
You're not triggered? So you've been quiet this whole time, but when I say you're triggered, you finally say you're not. So that's, I mean, pretty telling. You're obviously triggered.
But did you figure out that it's okay for us to film from a public sidewalk? That you can't do anything to us? We've done nothing wrong. Pay attention to your training. Stop sleeping during your training.
So is this the actual entrance to Nazi Germany right here? Or is this... How's Kim Jong-un doing? Is his health better now? That's what I thought. That's the walk of shame. You're not the first, not the last. There you go. There's a smile. It's not a bad smile. So to answer your question, when I asked how many people they had here, he said no comment. And then I asked the woman, she said she didn't know. And I asked, so is COVID prevalent here? She said, I don't know. I said, so you don't know how many patients you have. Right. You don't know if it's even an issue, but you do know that you need all these resources allocated here for no one.
Right.
That's
what we're trying to get down to, because they have all this here. They're not telling us who's here or how many people they have here. You would think it's public record. It belongs to the people. We have the right to know. The public has the absolute right to know. But you see the way when we start asking those basic questions, they walk away. If we were mainstream media, we would have scripted questions that they would be ready to answer. But they're not sure if they can answer those questions. They're not sure what they can say, what they cannot say. The PR person isn't here. So when you have real people who don't filter anything, who are ready to ask real honest questions, and we expect real honest answers, it drives them away. There's nothing more that the government hates than the light of day.
Yep.
And we're proof of that.
Flip it around. Tell me if I'm...
It's crazy how like they give their directives, so the guy comes up and says, you can't stand here. Most people would say, okay, and walk away. So I tell him, no man, this is public property, there's utilities, it's public.
Right.
Oh, and then he walks away.
Yeah.
Like the real question is like, how many people do they give those directives to that follow them for him to be comfortable to do that?
Yeah. You know, here, the security guards, they're not that aware of laws. Like, they don't pay them enough to give a damn. I think that's what it is. It's just the ignorance of it. Mm-hmm. You know, that's why I disagree with the private investigators licensing board here, because what happens is when they get a badge from the state, they act and they actually think that they're officers. Now they think they're law enforcement officers, and their act or their proclamation is law. So they give them these badges, they give them these nice shiny badges, this nice equipment with the boots and the cool tactical jeans, and they just send them out to guard certain posts without telling them about basic fundamental rights, about the difference between private and public property. Those things should be addressed. You would think they would be addressed by the owner of the company. But here, the private investigators licensing board, the problem with them is they want to gain money, gain revenue by making people go through the background check, the fingerprints, the photos, the testing. They get a revenue.
And I don't think people understand how fee happy this city is. It is very fee happy. I was shocked when I moved here 16 years ago And it is fee happy.
Exactly.
Everything's a fee. Everything's a fee. Everything's a fee. And you got to have these or you can't work. It's that insane. Totally insane.
This is what you need to work.
Yep. I have one of those.
If you don't have this, a non-gaming sheriff's card, you can't work in any place that has slot machines.
Yep.
So if I want to work at a 7-Eleven, I need this.
And how much does that cost?
This, it depends what position you want. It can range. I think this one was.
So you
50
have
or
to
$80.
pay to be able to work somewhere.
I got to go to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, get fingerprinted, and get a background check. I got to get my mug shot taken, and that little ID number, that stays with you. That was my inmate number when I went to county jail. So before I even went to the county jail, this county already issued me a number. So I have a social security, a state ID number, and now a county inmate number. And this stays with me for the rest of my life.
Illegally tracking citizens.
Yeah.
You have to
And
get-
this is
you get-
basically converting my right to work into a privilege and selling it back to me. That's what this is.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said.
You gotta have one of those. You have to have
Guys,
the
Martinez is awesome. We got a great crew. Prince, we got Prince Vegeta News Network, Josh Martinez, News Now 702, and El Charro Negro Justice, Tucson Lori Cop Watch, Mass Exposure. All right, guys, please share, like, and subscribe to these guys. And that is the reason we stopped you today.